you reminisce with, and you think back. And by sitting there and you let your mind go, and what happens is you go back to that era with him, and he's right there with you.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And the crazy things you had to do to be successful, and the crazy things we had to do to make things work, and the problems we used to put up with to get things to happen.
Right, right.
But it was a good experience, Lynn.
Yeah.
It was a rewarding experience. Okay? And I think that is one of the rewarding things is that I look back at the Mathesons, the Deasons, the Bennies. Ray's an RCMP officer. Al Luthwaite used to be a bank manager. Neil's working successfully. Stevie's up running a ranch in Merritt. Larson's working for the city. They all turned out well. We never had problems with any of them. Walt Weaver, who comes out of Queensboro in my minor association, he's got a very, very successful company. And you look back and you say with pride, I had a little bit to do with them being where they are.
Right, right, right.
In my own way.
Yeah.
Nobody else knows about it. But I know, and that's what's important to me, is knowing that you were part of a life at a tough time in their lives that brought them together. They weren't out on the streets breaking into things.
These are teenagers, and
okay,
learning about teams and.
That's right.
Yeah,
working together, working about teams, companionship, working, and we never had any trouble with the law with them.
Mm-hmm.
Never, except once, Neil. He got a little drunk one night. Time went out, and I'm leaving for the trip, and I went down and got him bailed out, and I took the responsibility. It's the only time, and he apologized to me. God, he apologized to me 100 times. I says, hey, it happens. He got a little bit high. He got picked up in a group, but that's the only one. And he's turned out exceptionally well. And when you think back, it gives you pride in knowing that you guided him in the right direction to the objective that he's at today.
So would you be a few years older than these guys then, I guess?
Oh, yeah, I was about 10 or 12 years old at least.
Right, at least, yeah. Tell me about some of the friendships that have formed because of your involvement in sport of any kind. In sports?
Well, the Commercial Travelers, which I was in, I used to curl. We used to go into Penticton all the time. I had curling in Penticton.
Oh, yeah.
I curled out of Richmond Curling Club. I was involved with that. I was involved with soccer out of Saffron with the soccer club there. I used to play center half and involved with that. I turned around and was involved with the
hockey
through my son's side of it.
And some of these friendships,
Earl Peterson, I know Earl quite well.
Yeah.
Go back with him. I keep not so much now because I've been involved in the last 25 years. I've been involved with the Shrine.
Oh, okay. The Shriners.
Shriners. I spent 25 years and 22 years in the Oriental Band of the Shrine.
Okay.
So I've been traveling all over North America with the Shrine. I'm involved actively with them.
Right.
Donnie Benson, who's one of my best friends, who's getting a 50th anniversary next week. I've known him for 54 years, and I brought him into this, and he became a Canadian lacrosse thing. He was very active in lacrosse, and him and I are active in the sports in the city here for the mayor.
Okay.
I'm involved in the mayor's committee, 2010 committee. I'm on the 2010 bid committee.
Right.
I'm on that with them. I do show and shine.
Right.
I'm totally involved with the show and shine for the last 9 months, with getting 82,000 people and 450 cars into the city down here.
Right.
Okay. I was involved with. I'm presently looking at doing a mountain bike thing in New Westminster, mountain climbing bike competition. Mm-hmm. We're working on that. So I'm still involved in the sports side of things with a lot of them.
Right.
But Donnie Benson primarily, and of course
Neil.
Neil was with the founders, but I'll show you. I don't know whether you seeing the,
So this article shows that you were involved in
this article's on me.
about,
I didn't even know it was in the paper.
and that's for what?
Speedway, stock car racing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you look at that, that there car is one I had, and I sold it to Donnie, and Donnie got it. That's Donnie. Now there's the whole write-up. This is a write-up on me on Dignity. I didn't even know it was in the paper.
July 9th, 2003.
Yeah.
So tell me, that's
It's crazy. See, so I'm all over the place with a lot
well,
of
it
these
sounds to me like, I mean, contacts that you've made
Yeah,
through sport
yeah.
has really impacted your life.
in some ways.
Yeah.
Primarily, the shrine is my big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like I guess I just graduated from the police academy,
Right.
citizenship at the police academy. There's one there. I've also been involved in business. I have a degree in business management from UBC. I have 4-year corporate law from UBC. Now I'm a grade 10 dropout. I've done Ukraine. My son gets very upset when I say this. And he says, "Yeah, Dad," he says, "why do they always ask you to give a lecture on how to import stuff from the Orient and all this?" You got a degree from UBC, 4 years of corporate law. You got a degree from Simon Fraser in business marketing. You have a degree, 3-year degree on business management from UBC. He says, you have the gift of the gab. You have a mind like a trapped elephant. Something goes into your mind. That computer is better than any computer we've got around. He says it stays there. You
Right.
push a button, you want something, and you can find out very quickly.
Right.
I started to sell Jack Hunter at UBC. They had 7,800 students on campus. When I quit selling him in the book business, they had 24,000. I opened Simon Fraser University with Benny Kwan. First year was 1,500 students. Okay, I opened up BCIT with Tom Brown in his bookstore. When Douglas College was still up here where the Justice Institute is in the Quonset huts, I stole Lou from UBC, and he became the book manager over here.
Oh, I see.
I used to sell Amy at the library when the library was still downtown. Okay, and Basil Stubbs at the UBC library, Vancouver Public Library, Moore Jordan at the Vancouver Public Library.
So it sounds to me like sports has really helped you in all sort of aspects of your life.
Bobby Ackles. Bobby was a water boy at the BC Lions when I first started running, and I used to sell him when he worked for Spalding's. And then when he became when he became manager the first time when Jackie Parker was here, I had a possibilities of building the arena in Richmond on the Lansdowne. You know where Lansdowne is? I did a survey because they were building the one in Seattle, and I got down to brass tacks of doing some surveys. We're going to build a hockey underneath and a football over the top and a hotel and a big department store on each end of the stadium.
Right.
We had the financing from San Francisco that was going to do it. We had it down to $78 per seat in those days, which was pretty good. The union wouldn't sign a contract with us that they would not go on strike.
Oh, I see.
And I said, no way, my people are not going to get hung out to dry. We were down in Louisiana and looked at the dome down there, and we went to it, my son and I, in 2 different places. Surveys all done. It would have been ideal right off the freeway, right into Lansdowne. Lansdowne was still the racetrack in those days. We turned around and tried to negotiate, and the union says, no, we don't do those kind of contracts. Fine, that's it. You're going to build it? No. 2.5 years later, I get a phone call from the construction company, construction union. You still interested in building the arena? No, not really. Why? We will sign a contract like that. They were hurting.
Right.
They went down the drain with everything. They were hurting. Their members were decimated, looking for jobs. I said, no, you didn't want to do it then. I don't deal with you the second time around. And we would have had it out there. They'd have never built the one down here where H.Y. Louis used to be and where the stadium is now.
Oh, I see.
Schrum built that. But no, true. I had a lot of connections with sports that worked with me on those things and the business world.
Do you feel that sports is important to a city like New Westminster?
Yeah, very much so. That's what brings you together.
Oh, okay.
I think that sports, two things that you look at, that if you get a city that's active in the sports and academic field of that nature, it stops a lot of the crime because the kids got something to do. Today, our kids find themselves nothing to do. They got too much time on their hands. They're not active. They're not involved. And as a result, they get in trouble. They're good kids. Nothing wrong with that. They just don't get involved. In sports, when you're active, you haven't got time to be out breaking into somebody's car and stealing it because you're involved in going to the game next, or a hockey game, and this sort of thing. And this is what we're going back to. Now, our city used to be called the City of Champions, long before Edmonton became City of Champions.
Right.
This was a very active, sports-minded city, and we're working towards that now. I give you the brief that I've got from the task force that I'm on. I'm a founding director of the Royal City 2010 task force, and I've registered it as a corporation, nonprofit. And Donnie Benson's the head of it. All the aldermen are on the committee. We've got the police, the assistant chief, Mike. If we can get our kids involved in activities that keeps their minds actively going and competitive, we will have less crime to worry with.
Right.
And that's a proven factor.
Right. So you want to try to get sports back into
We're working on getting sports back in. I'm working right now with Gordy Hobbs out in Saffron of CAPS. That's CAPS' son, to do a mountain bike around the city of Westminster. I've got all the information right here. When Wayne comes back, I'm sitting down, we're talking about doing a competitive mountain bike thing here. We're looking at, as soon as the Mercer Stadium is fixed, I want to check the outside track. We have kids that compete in a four-man relay race with the bikes. I've got the bikes that we can use, but they can't do it anywhere in New Westminster. They've got to go and compete in Tri-Cities. So I'm talking to Gordy about sponsorship, so that we'll have a four-man 100-lap races around there, and they're high school, out of the high school group. And if I can get the track that is good for that, we're going to look at doing that. So I've got 10 bikes committed. And what we'll do is we'll sponsor the team and have competitions in here on a four-man 100-lap relay teams.
That'd be great.
That way we're keeping our kids active in here, and it's going to promote our city. Would love, and I keep harping on it, but everything's been going so fast that we haven't had a chance to. I would love to have a competition, to be honest with you, Lynn. Our high school artists, to give them a 4x8 plaque, plywood, and get them to paint an ice skater, a curler, a lacrosse player, a soccer player, a baseball player, a football player, and we put them on the sides of buildings. The City of Champions. Welcome to the City of Champions.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Crazy idea.
Well,
but boy, does it make an impact when the guy drives in. Holy mackerel, I didn't know they played. We got the Canadian Championship curling team here.
Right.
He comes right out of so does he, right out of our rink here. Okay. We got the Man Cup winners, the lacrosse. We have our junior, like Stan Spiel come out of here with the Canadian hockey. We had Babe Pratt used to play out of here. Kenny Elliott used to play hockey out of here. Bobby Bergeron used to play out of here. All the old timers. These guys are all ex-NHL when there's only 6 teams, and they come out and they play for the Mackenzie with the Westminster Royals. We got history here like you wouldn't believe. I go back to research on the history. I go back to the 1920s, and I can get you up to here out of up at the library. Clippings, hockey, lacrosse, soccer, everything under the sun. But we have to, like I said to Donnie, I said we got to if we can get our students to put a competition up They paint these guys up, and we'll put them on the sides of the building, like down where the Sally Ann is in Westminster Station. That wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to get that wall with all our players, and you're coming in by SkyTrain,
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking at all of these players' plaques up there, all the way along. What do you call it? Entrances of the cities. The plaques up on the fences.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let us know who we are.
Yeah, definitely.
And it takes a long time, and it takes a lot of guts to keep pushing it. And I am.
Yeah.
Wayne phoned me 5:45 the other morning. Don't do anything until I get back, for Christ's sakes. I said, what? He says, you're talking about putting the time clock in for the countdown. He says, on the top of the city hall, it'll probably be up there by the time I get back. I was thinking, Bill, please don't do anything yet. I want a clock up there, count down to the Olympics. We're involved in the firemen's and policemen's ball games in 2008. We got a baseball game that's going in Woody Park at the moment with Burnaby. But I'm all, see, Lynn, I'm all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it.
I am. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place with so many different things that I've done in my life. And I don't think I've done anything yet. Okay? I've got so many other things in my mind that I'd like to do. But at 72, you're getting tired.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Yeah.
And like Donnie says, Donnie Benson, he's the poet laureate for the city. He's an author. He worked with, he did a B.C. Tell book. B.C. Tell loaned him to the 76 games that we had here. And he put the games on here. BC provincial games. And he's quite the same thing. We got to sit down, Bill, and tape all of this stuff. He says, because he says, you're getting older and you're starting to forget things. I says, I know. But we got to get it down on paper, on tape.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a start.
But like he says, you know, it's just like you say something and I find, oh yeah, this fits it.
Mm-hmm.
And that one leads to this, and this leads to this.
Oh yeah, that's the way it goes.
And that's the way it goes. Yeah. It's like a rolling snowball down a hill. It gets bigger and bigger as it goes down. And then somewhere down the line, I say something, and it clicks for you to do. I may never think of it.
Yeah.
Because I already accept it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But you're looking at it from a different perspective. You're a lot younger than I am, and you can see the potential of it in a different way than I can. I've gone through that. I've lived through this. I've been doing this. Okay, and involved in it. But you look at it from a different point of view, and something grows out of it. I mean, we've got we were looking for getting money from the bid committee, 2010 bid committee, for an arena, about a 10,000 seating arena, and the money's there. You know how to handle it. I'm trying to buy the waterfront back. I'm talking to Sheila Kopp and the federal government. I need $30 million to buy that back. You know why I want to buy it back? I want to put the fish and chip place down there, King Neptune, and I want to put. You ever been to Pike's Market in the state in Seattle?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to put one of those in there. The ideal place.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I want to put coffee shops and restaurants all along there. And then above that, I want to build 3 floors of housing to bring the city of Westminster back. If I can get that property back, I got $100 million available for construction.
Well,
and it'll also bring in by big tall ships.
Yeah.
And I can even show you all the tall ships that we got that we can get in here. We have one from Romania as a big one.
Lots of potential. Hey?
Oh yeah. But the thing of it is, you got to push, and it takes 5 to 10 years. But I'm not going to be around 10 years. But that's what I'm looking at. If I get it started, somebody else carries it along. We're moving the boat. It's going down to where Walmart is in Queensboro. So we'll get rid of that because the boat costs a lot of money to keep the way it is with all the marine things on it. So they're going to build a convention center down there in Queensboro and maybe a hotel and a casino. So that's on tap, all ready for the move. I'm looking at moving City Hall down on where the SkyTrain comes in.
Oh, right.
So that we can get some activity down there. We're trying to see whether I can put that property together in a package.
Well,
it's crazy.
Like I said,
it's
there's
crazy,
lots to talk about, and I mean, and we're sort of off the sports thing.
I know, but it's just things in general.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you for the interview.
Hey, thank you for really taking the time. I appreciate it.
Yes, thanks very much.
Because as I said to you, I can talk forever. I have the gift to gab.
Well,
I have the memory to back it up. That's my big problem. Well, it was a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Jyrie. What was that?
Bill.
Okay, Bill, thanks.